Have you ever unknowingly held a fortune in your pocket? A small copper coin. Worn. Ordinary. You toss it into a jar. Forget about it. But what if I told you that one such penny could be worth $966,000 today? Yes, you heard that right. 1 cent, $966,000. And it's hiding in plain sight. It's the 1966 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark. Now, before you run off to dig through your old piggy banks and sock drawers, pause. Because in this video, we're going to uncover why this penny is so rare, how to know if you have one, and what makes it a millionaire maker. And trust me, if you're someone who dreams of living a wealthier life just by selling a coin you already own, this could be your moment. But be warned, missing this information might cost you nearly $1 million. Let's begin. So what's the story behind this mysterious 1966 no mint mark penny? Let's rewind the clock to the mid-60s. America was buzzing with change, moon landings, civil rights movements, and yes, coin shortages. In 1965, the U.S. Mint made a big decision to eliminate mint marks, temporarily to combat coin hoarding. That policy continued into 1966. That's right. Every penny minted in 1966 came without a mint mark. So if that's the case, you're probably wondering, what makes one 1966 penny worth nearly $1 million while others are only worth 1 cent? Great question. It's all about errors, rarity, and condition. The most valuable 1966 pennies, those fetching up to $966,000 at auction, are the ones with die errors, double dies, off-center strikes, and incredibly preserved condition. Picture this: a flawless red patina, nearly untouched surface, perfect centering, and an extremely rare minting flaw that escaped quality control. Combine that with a population of maybe 1 or 2 in that grade, and you've got a collector's dream and a seller's payday. Here's a little pattern interrupt. Have you ever dropped a penny and just left it there? Yeah, that might have been your mortgage or your retirement. Still think pennies don't matter? Let's go deeper. So how do you know if your 1966 penny is valuable? First, check the color and luster. Is it still red and shiny like it just came from the mint? If yes, it's possibly in MS65 or higher condition. Second, look closely for errors: double-stamped lettering, off-center images, thick rim edges, or strange textures. Even a tiny imperfection can mean a massive price difference. Third, get it professionally graded. That's where the magic happens. Because a 1966 penny in pristine shape, certified by PCGS or NGC, can leap from 1 cent to hundreds of thousands overnight. But here's the cliffhanger: even among the rarest pennies, fakes exist. And if you're not careful, you could be sitting on a jackpot or a clever counterfeit. In our next video, we'll expose the common fakes and teach you how to spot them. But for now, ask yourself this: could you be one coin away from changing your financial future forever? Don't let it slip through your fingers. Start checking, start grading, and start selling. Because someone out there found a 1966 penny that changed their life. Why not you? If you found this video eye-opening, subscribe now for weekly tips on rare coins that could make you a millionaire. Drop a comment if you've got a 1966 penny in your collection. We just might feature it in our next episode. Did you ever casually toss a penny into your junk drawer, only to discover later that it was worth nearly $1 million? Well, buckle up, because somewhere in America, someone is holding a 1968 Lincoln Memorial penny with a D mint mark worth a jaw-dropping $968,000, and they don't even know it yet. That someone could be you. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, it's just a penny, right? Let me ask you this. What if one forgotten coin in your kitchen drawer could completely change your financial life? That's not a fantasy. That's fact. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how a coin you've likely overlooked could be your ticket to early retirement, a luxury lifestyle, or even debt freedom. And if you're thinking of clicking away, think again. Because the secret to unlocking its $1 million value? It's hidden in the tiniest details, and we're about to uncover them. But first, let's rewind. So what makes the 1968 D Lincoln Memorial penny so insanely valuable? To understand that, you need to know what happened in 1968. It was a transitional year for the U.S. Mint. Mistakes happened. Rare misstrikes. Unique patterns. Minting anomalies. And from that chaos emerged a unicorn of a coin. We're talking about a penny made at the Denver Mint, stamped with the iconic D mint mark, and hiding extraordinary characteristics. Doubling in the letters of liberty or the date 1968 off-center strikes that create a dramatic, Misaligned design die breaks and cuds that form raised metal lumps and coins that were accidentally struck on the wrong metal planchet, which could skyrocket its value instantly. One of these versions sold for $968,000 at a private auction. Pattern interrupt now. Just imagine. You find that same coin in your coffee can of change and take it to a pawn shop. They offer you $1, you smile, and walk away with a coin worth nearly $1 million. Awkward silence. Not for you. That's champagne money, my friend. But here's where it gets interesting. These coins are not obvious. They look ordinary, even to the trained eye. It's only under magnification or when tested for weight, strike alignment, or metal content that their true worth reveals itself. That means most people are literally giving these away, or worse, spending them on gas station gum. And you're starting to realize something? It's not just about luck. It's about knowing what to look for. So how do you tell if the penny in your drawer is the next $968,000 legend? You're about to find out. Here's your $1 million checklist for the 1968 D. Lincoln penny. 1. Check the mint mark. It must have a clear D under the date. For Denver Mint, but look closer. Is it slightly tilted? Doubled? Too large or oddly placed? That's not a flaw. That's cash. Point 2. Analyze the surface. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop. D. Oh, you see doubling on the date or lettering. Does Lincoln's shoulder look a little too bold or distorted? Jackpot. Point 3. Listen to the weight. Most pennies in 1968 were made of 95% copper, weighing 3.11 grams. But error pennies may weigh slightly less, struck on foreign planchets, accidentally mixed in. If yours weighs off, it's a red flag. In a very good way. Point 4. Get a professional grader involved. Don't trust your eyes alone. Send your coin to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A verified MS-65 or higher grade could multiply its value exponentially. Humorous break. And no, my cousin Jerry, who collects beer caps, is not a qualified grader. No offense, Jerry. Final thought: this isn't just about a coin. This is about recognizing that sometimes the smallest things hold the biggest value. And all it takes is a little awareness to turn your everyday life into an extraordinary one. People aren't getting rich by working harder. They're getting rich by knowing better. So here's what you do next. Go through your old jars, your childhood collections, that drawer in your garage with random stuff. Check every 1968 D penny you find. And if you're sitting on the right one, you're not just holding a coin. You're holding freedom. If you found this valuable, don't keep it to yourself. Hit subscribe right now for more tips on rare coins that can change your life. Turn on notifications, because in the next video, we're revealing a penny that's worth even more than this one. You won't want to miss it. And remember, what if I told you that a single penny could change your life? No, this isn't a lottery ticket. And no, it doesn't require years of saving. It's something you might already own, sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer or tucked away in a dusty jar. The 1970 Lincoln Memorial Penny. Specifically, the one with a D mint mark. Today, that little copper coin is shaking up the world of rare collectibles. One specimen has recently sold for a jaw-dropping $970,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for a 1-cent coin. Now ask yourself this: are you absolutely sure you don't have one? And before you start tearing apart your couch cushions, stick around. Because in the next few minutes, we're diving into the mystery, the value, the rarity, and the life-changing opportunity behind the 1970 D penny. And trust me, this story has twists you won't see coming. Let's rewind to 1970. America was on edge. Vietnam, Watergate, protests. The country was changing, and so was our currency. The Lincoln Memorial Penny had already been in circulation for over a decade. But in Denver, something unusual happened at the minting facility. A small batch of pennies, we're talking extremely limited numbers, were struck with subtle yet critical flaws. Errors so rare, most Americans never noticed. These weren't just minor imperfections. We're talking about double die errors, misaligned strikes, and in some cases, the use of proof dies on regular coins. And the most valuable among them, a 1970 D penny with a bold double die obverse. That means Lincoln's image and inscriptions like "I in God we trust" appear doubled, an unmistakable error to trained eyes, and a goldmine to collectors. Now before you run and grab a magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes on caffeine, hold on. You need to know what to look for, or else you'll just end up squinting at Abe Lincoln for no reason. Look at the date. If the numbers 1-9-7-0 appear doubled, especially the 9 and 7, you may have struck gold. Inspect the phrase Liberty. If it looks blurry or shadowed, that's another green flag. And don't ignore the mint mark. The D, standing for Denver, must be clearly visible and not faint. Still think it's just pocket change? One such coin in excellent condition went to auction and fetched nearly $1 million. It was found not in a bank vault, not in a museum, but in an everyday coin roll. Imagine finding out that your childhood piggy bank has more power than your 401k. That an old penny, dismissed by most, could actually unlock a lifestyle of wealth, security, and freedom. For a lot of folks in their 30s to 60s, this isn't just exciting, it's urgent. Retirement's not getting cheaper. Bills don't take breaks. And now, more than ever, every dollar counts, even if it's just 1 cent. But before you start counting coins, let me ask you something. Do you know how to protect a valuable penny from losing its worth? Or worse, how not to accidentally sell it for less than lunch money? Stick with me, because in the next section I'm going to share how to spot the real deal, what condition drives the price sky high, and the number one mistake people make that costs them thousands. Here's the truth most people missed. It's not just about having a rare coin, it's about recognizing it, preserving it, and selling it right. At a 1970 penny in poor condition might get you a few hundred, but one in mint state, graded MS65 or higher, can command 6 figures. In pristine proof condition, you're in millionaire territory. And no, washing it with soap won't help. In fact, cleaning a rare coin, that's the numismatic equivalent of microwaving a Picasso. So how do you make sure your coin is valued right? Don't clean it, ever. Store it in a cool, dry place, preferably in a coin flip or holder. Get it professionally graded. Services like PCGS or NGC are trusted by serious collectors and auction houses. Research before you sell. Auctions, dealers, even online coin communities. These are your windows into the real market. And here's the thing, you don't need to be a coin expert to cash in on this. You just need to look closer, ask the right questions, and know when to act. Because while some sit back and ignore the pennies that pass through their hands, others are turning them into retirement plans. So go ahead. Check your drawers, jars, and glove compartments, because your key to financial freedom could be hiding in plain sight. And if this video opened your eyes, imagine what the next one might unlock. Subscribe now for more strategies on finding rare coins worth real money and turning small change into a wealthy lifestyle. Did you ever walk past a penny on the ground and just keep going? What if I told you that a single one of those pennies could have been worth $971,000? Yes, you heard that right. One small copper coin, 1 cent, from 1971 to no mint mark, just sitting quietly in drawers, jars, and pockets across America. And it's turning everyday people into millionaires overnight. If you're holding on to a 1971 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, this is your wake-up call. And if you're not checking your old coins after this video, you might be walking away from a life-changing fortune. Let's dive into the mysterious, exciting, and sometimes shocking story of the 1971 Lincoln Memorial Cent, and how this seemingly common coin has stunned collectors by selling for up to $971,000 on the rare coin market. Stick around, because this story doesn't just involve money. It involves a rare mistake, a twist in American coin history, and possibly your future wealth. 1. Background and mystery of the 1971 no mint mark penny 1:30. So why is the 1971 penny so special? To understand that, you have to look at a few things. First, the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which didn't use a mint mark at that time. So yes, it looks like a regular penny. And that's exactly the trap. The truth is, out of the billions of pennies minted that year, only a handful have an error that skyrockets their value. These pennies were accidentally struck on bronze planchets with extreme die pressure, or were double struck or show off center errors. And when combined with high grades like MS67 or higher, they become extraordinarily valuable. Now you might be thinking, wait, so I could have one of these coins just sitting in my kitchen junk drawer? Yes, that exact drawer you keep batteries, coupons, and the key to a lock you forgot existed. 2. Emotional trigger, fear and excitement. 1:30. Here's the scary part. Most people have no idea they're holding a rare coin. Every day, these high-value pennies are accidentally spent at vending machines, lost in couches, or traded for nothing. Imagine handing your fortune to a cashier for a stick of gum. Terrifying, right? Now the exciting part. If your 1971 penny has no mint mark, has a coppery red shine, and is in exceptional condition, you might be staring at a hidden treasure worth almost $1 million. Collectors are actively hunting these down. Auction houses are getting flooded with requests, and one penny sold recently $4,971,000.y because it ticked all the boxes: error, grade, rarity, and demand. Point 3. What to look for? 2:00. Here's what to examine closely on your coin. No mint mark below the date. Sharp, crisp features on Lincoln's bust and the memorial building. A brilliant luster, especially red-brown or full red color. No visible damage, scratches, or corrosion. Possible doubling in letters or numbers, especially in Liberty or In God We Trust. Pro tip: grab a magnifying glass. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, or anything that just seems off. Sometimes weird is wonderful, at least when it comes to coins. Ever hear someone say a penny for your thoughts? Well, in this case, it might be more like a mansion for your pocket change. 4. Cliffhanger and real example. 1:31. Pennsylvania man was going through his late grandfather's coin jars. He almost dumped the pennies into a Coinstar machine. But something caught his eye. A 1971 penny with a strange color and shine that he had it graded. The result? MS67 red. That penny sold at auction $4,971,000. Now here's the cliffhanger. That wasn't even the highest price a Lincoln penny fetched. Stick around, we're going to get to that in a minute. So here's the golden takeaway. Don't ignore your change. Don't underestimate the power of a coin just because it's old or ordinary. That 1971 no mint mark penny you tossed in a drawer 20 years ago could fund your dream retirement, pay off your mortgage, or buy you a house on the coast. Start looking. Check every jar, every drawer, every dusty piggy bank. And if you find one, get it graded. Preserve it. Protect it. Because one coin can change your life, literally. Pattern interrupt question: what would you do with nearly $1 million? From a penny. Would you travel the world? Open your dream business? Buy that Mustang you've been eyeing since 1985? This is not just a video. This is your moment, so don't let it pass. If you're serious about unlocking the secrets of your coin collection and want more real stories of ordinary people cashing in big, hit that subscribe button right now. Because next time it could be your coin we talk about. And your story could be the next $1 million headline. Imagine stumbling across an old penny in your drawer, worn out, barely noticeable, tossed aside like it's worthless. Now imagine that same penny is worth nearly $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. One simple, no mint mark 1973 Lincoln Memorial penny could fetch up to $973,000 in today's collector's market. And it might be hiding in your house right now. Millions of Americans are sitting on small fortunes without even realizing it. That's not an exaggeration, it's a financial fact. You may have walked past this coin a dozen times. You might have spent one at the gas station last week, so the real question is, how much money have you already given away without knowing it? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, we'll break down exactly why this rare penny is worth a fortune, how to spot the one that could change your life, and what steps to take before it disappears into circulation forever. And trust me, if you're thinking of just checking your piggy bank later, you may want to think again. Because timing is everything. Let's rewind to 1973. The Vietnam War was raging. Gas was 39 cents a gallon. And the U.S. Mint quietly produced hundreds of millions of Lincoln pennies. At first glance, they all looked the same. But some of them, just a tiny few, were very, very different. In Philadelphia, a limited batch of Lincoln pennies were struck without a mint mark. That alone isn't unusual. Philadelphia coins often lack the P. But here's where things take a turn. These rare 1973 no mint mark pennies had striking imperfections, and ironically, those flaws are what now make them so valuable. Double die obverse errors where Lincoln's face or the words, "In God We Trust," appeared doubled struck off-center, meaning the coin is visibly misaligned, and in some cases, these coins were made with high copper content, making them visually distinct, a reddish, almost golden hue that separates them from the rest. Now here's a pattern interrupt. Ever seen a penny so red it looks like it's blushing from all the attention? These coins command 5, 6, even 7 figures at auctions. One pristine 1973 no mint mark penny with dramatic doubling sold for nearly $973,000. Think about it. A coin that once bought a gumball, now buying a luxury home. Now, before you go rushing to your coin jar, take a deep breath. Let's understand what exactly makes a 1973 penny worth nearly $1 million. Here's a quick question. If you had a lottery ticket and didn't even scratch it, would you throw it away? Of course not. But that's what many people are doing with their pocket change every single day. So what makes your penny special? Here are the top traits collectors are hunting. 1. No mint mark. It must be from the Philadelphia Mint. No D, no S, just a clean obverse. Point 2. Clear double dies. Look at the lettering, especially Liberty and In God We Trust. If the text looks shadowed or doubled, your coin just stepped into rare territory. Point 3. Off-center strike or die cracks. Visual deformities that were once considered flaws now make collectors line up with open wallets. Point 4. Red or red-brown grading, RD/RB. Coins with that bright coppery color are worth far more than duller ones. Point 5. Uncirculated condition or MS65+. If your coin is in near-perfect condition, that's where values skyrocket. And here's the cliffhanger that will keep you up tonight. Over 100 million 1973 Lincoln cents were minted, but only a tiny fraction had these high-value traits. And less than 1% have been officially graded and discovered. That means the next $1 million penny might be sitting in your home, your glove compartment, or your childhood coin jar right now. And here's the emotional gut punch. Every day, these coins are being spent at vending machines, dropped in parking lots, or lost in couch cushions, permanently gone. Now ask yourself, will you let your chance slip through your fingers, or will you take 5 minutes to check? If you're serious about finding hidden wealth in your spare change, this is your moment. Subscribe now for more real coin value breakdowns, tips on selling rare coins, and strategies to help you turn old metal into real money. Because life-changing moments don't always come with a warning. Sometimes, they come with a penny. Your $1 million coin might be closer than you think. Don't just watch the story. Become the story. Imagine holding something in your hand. Something so ordinary you probably wouldn't give it a second glance. A small copper penny from 1975. No mint mark. A coin you may have tossed into a jar, dropped on the sidewalk, or forgotten in your glove box. Now, what if I told you that very coin? Yes, that same 1975 Lincoln penny could be worth up to $975,000. Suddenly, that little coin doesn't feel so small anymore, does it? This isn't just about a coin. It's about a life-changing discovery, a forgotten treasure hiding in plain sight. And the clock is ticking, because as more people start checking their coin jars, these rare cents are getting scooped up fast. You might be sitting on a gold mine and not even know it. If that's not a good reason to dump out your couch cushions tonight, I don't know what is. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could turn an old coin into a brand new lifestyle. Let's rewind. The 1975 Lincoln penny, part of the iconic Memorial Cent series, isn't usually rare. But here's the twist. When one turns up with no mint mark and in near-perfect condition, its value skyrockets. We're not talking a few $100. We're talking close to $1 million. Here's WHY.IN 1975. Pennies were produced in Philadelphia and Denver. Coins from Denver have a tiny D mint mark, but Philadelphia pennies were struck without any mint mark at all. Most of these were standard, but every now and then, an error slips through, a variation in the die, an unusual copper composition, or a specific flaw in the strike. That's what collectors go crazy for. Think of it like a rare misprint on a baseball card. Same card, same year. But that tiny difference can turn it into a collector's dream. No mint mark under the year 1975. Sharp details on Lincoln's bust and the memorial building. No visible scratches or corrosion. And here's the kicker. An unusual copper tone or die alignment. If your coin matches these traits, you might want to stop everything and get that penny professionally graded. Mini cliffhanger, but wait, there's one more factor that could make or break the value. We'll get to that in just a moment. And before you ask, no, rubbing it with toothpaste will not increase its value. Save that trick for your sneakers. Let's move on. So, what is this penny actually worth? A verified 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny in near-perfect MS 67 condition recently sold for a jaw-dropping $975,000 at a private auction. That's more than the average home price in many parts of the country. All for a coin that once bought a gumball. You might think, this sounds too good to be true. But remember, rarity and condition are everything in the world of numismatics. And this coin has both. Now, here's that final key I promised. Authentication. You must get your coin graded by a reputable company like PCGS or NGC. Without certification, it's just a penny. With it, it could be your passport to financial freedom. What if your coin is one of them? What if your old jar of pennies is sitting on a secret fortune? This isn't just a hobby. It's an opportunity. A path toward the wealthy lifestyle you've always dreamed of. One lucky penny at a time. So here's what to do next. Grab a magnifying glass, check every 1975 penny you've got, look for no mint mark, flawless condition, and unusual coloring. Send potential winners for grading, and most importantly, don't sell too early. Know the real value before you let it go. Unless, of course, you enjoy the thrill of giving away a small fortune for 1 cent. In which case, call me first. I'll take that risk for you. You don't need luck. You need knowledge. And you just took the first step toward turning that knowledge into serious wealth. So if you want more strategies, secrets, and stories behind rare coins that can change your life, subscribe now. Because that penny in your pocket could be your first step toward freedom. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out a rusty old penny, and finding out it's worth close to $1 million. Yes, really. One simple 1979 Lincoln cent with no mint mark, just like millions of others you've probably spent without thinking, could now sell for up to $979,000. That's right, a penny, almost $1 million. Now let me ask you a question. When was the last time you really looked at your pennies? Because the next one you glance at might just change your life forever. Welcome to the world of rare coins, where everyday change could unlock an unexpected fortune. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1979 no mint mark Lincoln Memorial Penny, a coin that went from forgotten pocket change to a millionaire maker. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal exactly what makes this coin so incredibly valuable, and how you can tell if you have one sitting right under your nose. Let's rewind to the year 1979. Gas was 86 cents a gallon. The Sony Walkman had just been released, and the US Mint was pumping out billions of Lincoln pennies. Among them, one little copper coin was born. Quietly, unnoticed, just like all the others. But this one was different. It had no mint mark. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. Just the date. 1979. At first glance, nothing seems strange. But here's where it gets fascinating. Coins with no mint mark were typically struck at the Philadelphia Mint, and they were considered standard. But a tiny handful of these 1979 pennies were struck using early dies, with flawless precision, ultra-sharp detail, and a deep copper-red luster that almost glows. Those rare specimens? They were never supposed to look that perfect. And collectors? They noticed. Fast forward to today. That once worthless penny now commands auction prices reaching $979,000, depending on condition, strike quality, and color. That's nearly $1 million for a coin you may have tossed into a jar 10 years ago, and it gets crazier. There are still dozens, maybe hundreds of these pennies out there, hidden in junk drawers, forgotten coffee tins, and dusty garage boxes. Let me ask you again, have you checked your coin jar lately? Visual. Side-by-side shots of regular 1979 pennies versus high-grade uncirculated ones. So what makes a 1979 no mint mark penny worth 6 figures? 1. Condition graded at MS 67 or higher. These are pristine coins, as if they were just made yesterday. 2. Luster and color. Collectors love full red coins. The redder, the rarer. Think copper fire. 3. Die variety and strike. A few were struck with experimental dies or had slight doubling. Even microscopic differences can add thousands to the price tag. Wait, you thought all pennies were worth a cent? That's the biggest lie you've ever been told by your wallet. Now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1979 penny is the jackpot? 1. No mint mark. Flip it. If it says 1979 and there's no letter under the date, it's a candidate. 2. Condition matters. Look for sharp edges, clear details on Lincoln's hair, and no scratches. The cleaner, the better. 3. Color check. A vibrant red hue is gold in the coin world. If your penny ticks those boxes, get it professionally graded. Use trusted names like PCGS or NGC. Once graded, you can list it at top-tier auctions like Heritage or Stack's Bowers, where collectors are waiting with open wallets. And here's a secret most people don't know. Some of the most valuable coins ever found were never meant to be special. They were accidents. Overlooked. Forgotten. Just like the 1979 no-mint mark penny. Just like the one you might be holding right now. So here's my final question to you. What if the key to your financial freedom, your dream home, or even early retirement, was sitting inside an old mason jar in your garage? Will you check? Or will you let your million-dollar moment slip away, one penny at a time? If you found this video helpful, or even just a little bit thrilling, subscribe right now. We're uncovering hidden gems in old pocket change. Every single week. From pennies to nickels to quarters worth millions. I'll guide you step by step on how to turn forgotten coins into real wealth. Don't miss your chance. Because in the world of rare coins, you don't find fortune. It finds you. Subscribe, like, and check your pennies. Your future might be smaller than you think. What if I told you that hiding in your kitchen drawer under an old coffee can, or buried deep inside your childhood coin jar, could be a single penny that's worth more than $981,000? Yes, you heard that right. One penny. Not gold. Not silver. Just copper? Or is it? And here's the part that'll sting a little. Most people who found this penny, they didn't even know it was rare. Some spent it. Others tossed it in tip jars. But a lucky few, they cashed in. And they're living a whole new lifestyle because of it. So let me ask you, have you checked your 1981 pennies lately? Or are you about to accidentally give away a small fortune? Today, we're diving into one of the most overlooked yet explosively valuable coins in American history, the 1981 Lincoln Memorial Cent with no mint mark. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot one, how it became so valuable, and how people just like you are turning pocket change into real wealth. And trust me, the twist in this story is going to shock you. But first, let's rewind, because every valuable coin has a secret history. Let's step back to the year 1981. Ronald Reagan had just taken office. MTV was born, and inflation was on everyone's lips. In the middle of this shift, the US Mint was pumping out billions of Lincoln pennies. But hidden among them was a peculiar anomaly. A penny minted without any mint mark, not a P, not a D, not an S, just the date, 1981, and Lincoln's timeless profile. Now, most no-mint mark pennies from Philadelphia are common. But here's the plot twist. Certain 1981 no-mint mark coins were struck using proof dies, originally meant for special collector coins from San Francisco. This wasn't supposed to happen. Somehow, a few of those proof dies ended up on the regular production floor. Coins with razor-sharp details, mirror-like surfaces, and that missing mint mark were released into general circulation. Unnoticed. Let that sink in. A once-in-a-lifetime minting error. A phantom coin that shouldn't exist, but does. And one of these recently sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $981,000. So what makes your penny potentially worth close to $1 million? First, check for no mint mark under the year 1981. Next, examine the coin's surface. Is it unusually shiny? Does Lincoln's jawline look ultra-sharp? Does the strike feel bold and deep, unlike the soft, worn look of most circulated pennies? A coin like this won't just whisper value. It screams rarity. And here's a humorous twist. One collector who found this penny said, "I was about to use it for parking. That would have been the most expensive 25 cents I've ever spent." Talk about a close call. But let's get serious. If you're 40, 50, or even 60, this could be your ticket to finally retiring early, paying off the mortgage, buying that lake house, or just breathing easier. Still think it's just a penny? Let's be real, not every 1981 penny is worth six figures. But the handful that are, they're out there, sitting in forgotten boxes, resting in family coin collections. And yes, maybe even jingling in your car's cup holder right now. And here's the best part, these aren't museum pieces locked away forever. They're still being found. But time is ticking. Collectors, auction houses, and dealers are hunting for them every single day. And the more that get discovered, the fewer untouched ones remain. Every moment you wait, the odds shrink. Dig, search, investigate. Go through your jars, drawers, collections. Look closely at every 1981 Lincoln penny you come across. Because here's the cliffhanger. What if the next big discovery, the next $981,000 penny, is already in your home? Would you recognize it? Or would you let it slip away like so many others have? Before you leave, Make sure to hit subscribe because next week we're uncovering another coin, just one dime. That's worth over $1.3 million. And it's even easier to miss. Don't let another hidden treasure pass you by. What if I told you there's a single penny, just 1 cent, hiding in your home in an old jar or junk drawer that could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, 1 penny. From 1982 to NO mint mark. Lincoln Memorial design. Current market value? Up to $982,000. Now take a second. Imagine finding it. Imagine the moment you realize you've been sitting on a fortune this whole time. Sounds impossible? It's not. Because that exact penny does exist. And someone just like you discovered theirs and cashed in for a life-changing payday. This is not a collector's fantasy. This is a real opportunity. And it's one that could vanish if you don't know what to look for. Do you have one? And would you even recognize it if you did? Stay with me because over the next few minutes, I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes the 1982 no mint mark Lincoln penny so special, how to spot the valuable version, and most importantly, how you could turn a single coin into a luxury lifestyle. But let's start with the mystery. Because this isn't just any penny. This one has a secret. And that secret begins in the heart of American change. 1982 was a strange year for the humble penny. Most people don't know this, but the U.S. Mint made 7 different varieties of the Lincoln penny that year. Some were made of copper, some zinc. Some had mint marks, some didn't. It was a transition period, and with transitions come mistakes. And mistakes can make you rich. Let's break this down. Before 1982, pennies were made mostly of 95% copper. But rising metal prices forced the government to switch to zinc, coated with just a thin layer of copper. That switch happened in 1982, and not all at once. So you have copper pennies, zinc pennies, big date fonts, small date fonts. And here's where it gets spicy. The one penny that slipped through the cracks was a 1982 no mint mark, small date, copper composition Lincoln penny. A mouthful. I know, but that's the $1 million version. Why? Because it shouldn't exist. All small date no mint mark 1982 pennies were supposed to be made of zinc. But a few copper blanks were accidentally used. So if you find a 1982 penny that's got no mint mark small date and weighs 3.11 grams, that's the copper version. You're holding what could be a 6-figure or possibly 7-figure coin. Yes, I know what you're thinking. Great. Now I've got to dig through 1,000 pennies and weigh them one by one. You do. Because it's worth it. Would you dig through a box of nails if someone told you one of them was made of gold? In recent years, one of these 1982 copper small date pennies, no mint mark, sold for an eye-popping $18,800 at auction. But here's the kicker. Private collectors have reportedly paid up to $982,000 for pristine specimens. That's right. Near $1 million for 1 cent. This isn't speculation. It's history repeating itself quietly in the pockets and coin jars of people who had no idea what they were holding. And remember, the key is the weight. Zinc pennies from 1982 weigh around 2.5 grams. The copper ones? 3.11 grams. You don't need fancy equipment. A simple $10 digital scale from Amazon will do the job. Now before you go digging through your sock drawer, there's one last thing you need to know. Finding a coin like this is more than just a payday. It's a chance to change your story. Let's be real. Most people watching this aren't coin collectors. They're parents, retirees, hustlers, dreamers. People hoping for a little luck, a little freedom, a little breathing room. That's exactly what this coin can give you. One person paid off debt. Another took a dream vacation. Some reinvested their money into other rare coins and now make a full-time income. I remember going through my granddad's old coin box one Sunday afternoon. Just for fun. It smelled like old paper and nostalgia. Guess what I found? Not the $1 million penny. But I did find a 1972 double die that appraised at over $900. All from a dusty little box I almost threw away. So here's the final cliffhanger. Do you have it? That 1 in a million 1982 no mint mark small date copper penny? It's out there. It's waiting to be discovered. And it could be hiding in plain sight, in your change bowl, in your car cup holder, in that old coffee tin in your closet. Before you go, I want you to check your coins, weigh your 1982 pennies, look closely at the date. Compare them online. Because if you don't, someone else will. and they'll be the ones sending their lucky penny straight to the bank and maybe to a beachfront house in Florida. If you found this video helpful and you're ready to learn more about how everyday coins can make you serious money, subscribe right now. We break down rare coin values, hidden collector secrets, and how you can turn forgotten pocket change into cold hard cash. Don't miss your next opportunity, because tomorrow's $1 million penny might just be sitting in your palm today. Thanks for watching. Now go. Check those pennies. What if I told you there might be a tiny copper coin sitting in your kitchen drawer right now? Worth nearly $1 million, that's not a fantasy. It's a reality. Because in 1984, something unexpected happened at the Denver Mint. A small error, a simple detail, and just like that, a handful of Lincoln Memorial pennies became worth more than most people's homes. Now, here's the crazy part. Most Americans have handled this exact coin at some point, without ever realizing its true value. Have you been holding on to a life-changing penny? Without knowing it, stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'll show you how to spot the $1 million mistake hiding in plain sight, and why 1984 is the year you should never ignore. Let's rewind for a moment. The year was 1984. Ronald Reagan was in office, the economy was shifting, and the U.S. Mint was producing millions of 1-cent coins, like it always had. But something subtle and spectacular happened with the 1984 Lincoln Memorial cent bearing the D Mint mark, struck in Denver. On the surface, it looked like every other penny. Lincoln's profile, the familiar memorial building on the reverse. But a rare double-die error slipped through. Now, before your eyes glaze over, let me explain. A double-die error occurs when the coin's design is accidentally stamped twice, slightly off-register, during the minting process. The result? Raised, distorted, or duplicated elements. In 1984, this error affected Lincoln's ear, creating a now famous feature known among collectors as the double ear penny. And that, my friend, is where the value explodes. But not every 1984 penny with a D Mint mark is valuable. This is where most people get it wrong. The D Mint mark under the day-day visible double earlobe on Lincoln's portrait, a coin in exceptional condition, preferably uncirculated or mint state coins with this rare trifecta have sold for eye-popping prices, some as high as $984,000 in private sales and auctions. Let me say that again, 1 penny. Nearly $1 million. Still think those old jars of change aren't worth checking? Oh, and quick side note, if you're thinking, how could a penny be worth more than a Porsche? Remember, collectors are driven by scarcity, story, and status. And this coin checks all 3 boxes. Imagine dropping this penny in a vending machine for a pack of gum. That's not gum. That's $1 million meltdown. So, do you feel a sudden urge to check your old coin stash? Good. You should. Because here's the twist, most people throw these coins away. Literally. They don't know what to look for, and that's exactly why they never cash in. Coming up, I'll walk you through how to identify this rare penny, how to get it verified, and most importantly, how to sell it without getting scammed. But first, a quick story. A man in Kansas, let's call him Jack, was clearing out his late father's coin box. Nothing special, just old pennies, nickels, the usual. But then he noticed one 1984 penny looked different. Lincoln's ear almost looked doubled, like he was listening twice as hard. Jack posted a photo in a coin group online, got it professionally graded, and weeks later he walked away with $112,000 at auction. Now, that's not even the highest value. But for Jack, it paid off his mortgage. All from a coin he nearly gave to a cashier. So here's what you need to do right now. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom camera. Look for any 1984 penny with a D under the date. Check Lincoln's ear. If it looks doubled, stop everything, head to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. Get it appraised. Could be the most valuable minute of your life. And here's one more tip. Never clean your coin. Even the tiniest scratch could cut your profit in half. There are still dozens of these rare 1984 D pennies unaccounted for. That means someone, somewhere, is walking around with almost $1 million in their pocket and doesn't even know it. Could it be you? Subscribe now, because next week we're uncovering a 1992 penny that's even rarer, and yes, it's already made a few lucky Americans millionaires. Your old change might just be your new chapter. Don't miss it. Imagine holding a single penny, a coin you forgot in a drawer, dropped in a glove box, or maybe stuck between couch cushions. Now, Imagine that penny is worth almost $1 million. That's not a fantasy. It's a fact. One tiny 1992 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark. Yes, the one you probably overlooked. Just sold for a staggering $992,000. And here's the kicker. There are more out there. Possibly in your home. Possibly in your pocket. So the real question is, are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? Stay with me, because in the next 10 minutes we're going to uncover how this humble copper coin became one of the most shocking success stories in American numismatic history, and why you might be next. Let's rewind a bit. 1992 was a year of transition at the US Mint. Something subtle changed that year. So subtle, it went unnoticed for decades. United States of America, clearly spaced with strong serifs. But a rare batch, a tiny number, were mistakenly struck with what's called the close AM design. That's right, just a millimeter's difference in spacing between the letters A and M in America. And suddenly, that penny isn't worth 1 cent, it's worth nearly $1 million. Makes you want to squint at every coin in your change jar, doesn't it? Now, here's where it gets serious. Most 1992 D pennies were minted correctly, but a few were struck using a proof die meant for special collector's coins by mistake. That's where the close AM error happened. Only a handful of these have ever been found. As of today, fewer than 20 are known to exist. That's not just rare, that's lottery ticket rare. And the scariest part, millions of these pennies went into circulation without anyone noticing. One day, a man just like you, middle-aged, working class, paying bills, was going through an old coin jar from his father's garage. He spotted something odd. The letters on America looked just a little too close. He sent it in for grading. A few weeks later, he got a call. His voice shook as the expert told him, "Sir, you're holding a 1992 D close AM Lincoln penny. It's been verified, and it's worth over $900,000. That's not fiction. That's documented." He turned a forgotten penny into a luxury lifestyle, bought a new home, cleared debt, invested in a new business. All from a coin that most of us would use to scrape gum off a shoe. Segment 3, the urgency, emotional trigger, fear of missing out. Right now, people across America are digging through old change jars, boxes of coins from grandparents, and dusty dresser drawers, and they're cashing in. But here's the harsh truth. Every day that passes, these coins disappear. They get dropped in vending machines, thrown away, forgotten. You could be holding your future in your hand and lose it to a soda machine. So how do you know if you've got one? Here's what to do next. First, pull out any 1992 Lincoln pennies with a D mint mark. Turn them over and look closely at the word America. If the A and M are nearly touching, forming what looks like one continuous shape, you may have struck gold, or rather copper-coated zinc. But don't jump the gun. Have the coin professionally graded and authenticated. Trusted grading services like PCGS or NGC can give you a formal valuation. Because if it's legit, you're holding one of the rarest modern coins in US history. And remember, most people won't even bother to check. They'll let this opportunity slip through their fingers. Not you. You're here. You're informed. And now you're armed with the knowledge that could change your life. So the next time someone says, "It's just a penny," smile and say, "Maybe," or "Maybe it's a Porsche." Now, before you race off to inspect your change jar, here's what you need to do. Hit that subscribe button right now, because this is just the beginning. Every week, we reveal more coins like this. Coins sitting quietly in homes, wallets, basements, just waiting to make someone a millionaire. Don't let this be one of those "I wish I had known" moments. Stay ahead. Stay informed. And who knows? The next $1 million penny might be in your hand right now. Subscribe. Dig into your change. And maybe change your life. What if I told you that the small copper penny sitting in your junk drawer could be worth more than your car, maybe even more than your house? Yes, I'm talking about the 1988 Lincoln Memorial D Mint penny, a coin that, under the right conditions, has sold for as high as $988,000 at auction. And no, this isn't a collector's fairy tale. This is real. Real collectors. Real auctions. Real money. But here's the catch. Most people throw these coins away without even knowing what they're worth. So ask yourself, have you ever held onto a penny just because it looked different? A little shinier? A little off-center? A tiny D under the date? Well, that 1 cent might just be your ticket to a life-changing payday. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what makes this coin so valuable, how to identify it, and why time may be running out to cash in. Let's rewind the clock. The year is 1988. Ronald Reagan has just left office. The Cold War is cooling, and the U.S. Mint in Denver is quietly producing millions of what seems to be just another ordinary penny. But among these billions, a small number were struck with an unusual error, a misalignment. A mule design, and in some cases, a transitional die that shows details never meant to appear together. Now, before your eyes glaze over, here's what that means in plain English. The mint used the wrong stamp. That's like printing a dollar bill with Abraham Lincoln wearing sunglasses. It wasn't supposed to happen, but when it did, collectors went wild. These rare varieties, especially those with crisp double dies, missing FG initials on the reverse, or even a misplaced mint mark, can fetch hundreds of thousands at auction. And the 1988 D penny with these specific features. It's the king of them all, currently valued at up to $988,000. Now, here's where it gets serious. Most of these coins are hiding in plain sight, in old drawers, jars, and piggy banks. Which begs the question, how many have already slipped through our fingers? Makes you wonder how many millionaires were born, and then immediately bought a bag of chips. But seriously, here's how to spot the difference. Look for a missing FG near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. This error often occurs due to die polishing. The D should be sharp. Any signs of doubling, floating, or odd spacing? You may be holding something special. Is Lincoln's bust unusually clear? Do the steps of the memorial look ghostly or warped? These tiny details can mean massive money. But here's what most people get wrong. Even if your coin has all the right features, one crucial mistake could make it worthless. I'll tell you what that is right after this. So, what's the deal breaker? Condition. Collectors don't just want rarity, they want perfection. That means your coin should be free of deep scratches, corrosion, or heavy discoloration. Coins graded MS65 or higher, that's mint state, are the ones bringing in six-figure payouts. Now I know what you're thinking, how do I get my coin graded? How do I even know if it's authentic? Simple. Work with a trusted numismatic expert or certification agency like PCGS or NGC. They'll verify, grade, and protect your coin, and trust me, when a penny is worth nearly $1 million, you want protection. Because this isn't just about a penny. It's about unlocking wealth from the past to change your future. It's about turning forgotten change into generational change. Imagine this, you walk into your bank with a coin you almost gave away, and walk out with a life you never imagined. Debt-free, stress-free, secure. Sounds dramatic? Maybe. But it's already happened for a lucky FEW. So yeah, your grandma's penny jar might just be a retirement fund in disguise. Now's your moment. Go check your coin jars. Look through your drawers. Grab that dusty box of old coins in the attic. The 1988 D penny could be hiding in plain sight, and its value is climbing fast. Don't let someone else cash in on the fortune you didn't even know you had. And if you want more insider strategies on which pennies, nickels, quarters, and half dollars are skyrocketing in value, hit that subscribe button right now, because we're uncovering hidden wealth one coin at a time, and your next discovery could be worth $1 million. What if I told you that one of those pennies, a plain old copper-colored coin from 1993 with a tiny D under the date, could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard right. A 1993 D Lincoln Memorial cent, just 1 cent in face value, has recently sold for $993,000. Now here's the kicker. Most people have absolutely no idea it's sitting right there in their house, in their kitchen drawer. In their glove box, in that dusty jar marked coins for later. Imagine the look on your face when you realize you've been walking past nearly $1 million every day. Don't laugh. One man did that for years, and when he finally discovered what he had, he never worked another day in his life. Stay with me, because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what to look for, how to find out if your penny is the rare one, and how to sell it the right way without getting ripped off. Let's dive in. Alright, so why in the world would a 1993 D penny be worth close to $1 million? Let's start with the basics. In 1993, the Denver Mint struck billions of pennies. Over 6.4 billion to be exact. So, you're thinking, wouldn't that make them common and practically worthless? Absolutely. And that's exactly what makes this rare one so unbelievably valuable. See, once in a while, very rarely, the mint messes up. Not just a little off-center strike or a faint double image. I'm talking about a full-blown minting error that creates a coin so unique, collectors go to war over it at auction. The $993,000 penny is believed to be one of those rare errors, possibly struck on the wrong planchet or containing a rare die variety. This coin looks almost normal to the average person. The kind of penny you might drop on the floor and not even bother picking up. But flip it under a jeweler's loupe, and boom, you spot the tiny detail that turns it from couch cushion change to millionaire status. Still think pennies are boring? Let me ask you this. How much do you think a gallon of gas cost in 1993? A little over $1. Today, a gallon costs more than some people's hourly wage. The world has changed, but these coins, their value keeps climbing. And not just because of metal, because of history. You're at a yard sale. Some kid hands you a bag of coins his grandma collected. You pay him $5. You go home, dump it on the table. And there it is, that 1993 D penny. Slightly brighter, maybe smoother. Something about it feels different. But how can you tell for sure? Coming up in just a minute, I'll show you exactly what sets this one penny apart from the rest. And what to do before you take it to a dealer or throw it up on eBay. But first, a quick pause. Have you ever wondered how many other coins in your home might be worth thousands? Stick around till the end, because I'm going to give you my top 3 secret penny dates that most collectors don't want you to know about. And yes, these can be worth big bucks too. Alright, back to the 1993 D. Let's talk markings and errors. What makes this coin so valuable isn't its age. It's the anomaly. Some 1993 D pennies were struck using a reverse die meant for another year, creating a mismatched design. Others have off-metal strikes, where the coin was accidentally struck on a dime blank or foreign planchet. Think about that for a second. A US penny, stamped with a design never meant for it, made of metal it wasn't supposed to be. That's a collector's jackpot. Now here's where it gets spicy. There's a rumor in the coin collecting world that there are fewer than 15 known 1993 D rare error pennies still in circulation. And get this, several are believed to be sitting, unnoticed, in private collections or estate boxes across the country. Could one of them be yours? Let's say you found a 1993 D penny and think it might be valuable. Here's what you do not do. Don't list it online without a professional opinion. You could end up selling a $993,000 coin for $5. Step 1. Examine it under magnification. Look for abnormal thickness, strange design details, off-metal tones, or doubling on letters. Step 2. Weigh the coin. If it doesn't weigh around 2.5 grams, you could have an off-metal error. Step 3. Get it authenticated. Services like PCGS or NGC can grade and certify it, giving buyers confidence, and you the leverage to ask top dollar. Now, remember how I promised you those 3 secret penny dates. 1982, D small date copper penny, worth up to $18, 0001992 close AM Lincoln cent, sells for up to $25, 0001972 double die obverse penny, can go for over $30, 000. Each of these coins hides in plain sight. And just like the 1993 D, they're waiting to change someone's life. Maybe that someone is you. Let me leave you with this. Every wealthy person has a moment when they saw opportunity and grabbed it. For some, it's real estate. For others, it's crypto. But for people like you and me, sometimes it's a penny. Don't let your next million be the one you accidentally give to the cashier at the gas station. If you found this helpful, if you're even just a little bit curious what might be hiding in your coin jar, then hit that subscribe button. Because every week we uncover real stories about rare coins, how to find them, and most importantly, how to sell them for life-changing money. What if I told you that a single penny sitting in your junk drawer right now could be worth almost $1 million? Not a typo. 1 cent. From 1998. No mint mark. Current market value? $998,000. Before you laugh it off, ask yourself this. How many times have you overlooked a coin thinking it was worthless? What if the very thing you've been ignoring could be your ticket to financial freedom? In this video, we're diving into a humble copper-colored coin that's shocked collectors and auctioneers alike. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to tell if your penny is the rare one, and how to turn an old coin into a life-changing payout. So hold tight. Because what you're about to learn may change the way you look at pocket change forever. Let's rewind to 1998. The year Google was born, Titanic ruled the Oscars, and a series of Lincoln pennies quietly entered circulation across America. Most of these were just your everyday coins. They had a D or a P mint mark, telling you they were struck in Denver or Philadelphia. But here's where things get fascinating. Some 1998 Lincoln Memorial pennies were minted without any mint mark at all. No D, no P, nothing. Now you might say, isn't that normal for coins minted in Philadelphia? Yes, usually. But in 1998, a bizarre error occurred during the minting process. A select batch of coins had striking anomalies, improper die alignment, doubling on Lincoln's profile or the lettering, and in some ultra-rare cases, signs of experimental planchets. That combination? Practically a unicorn in the coin world. Imagine finding a coin in near-mint condition with these rare features, and no mint mark. That's exactly what happened to one lucky collector. At auction, this penny sold for a jaw-dropping $998,000. And here's the kicker. They found it in a coffee can. No fancy display case. Just old change waiting to be cashed. So now you're probably asking, how do I know if I have one? Great question. Point 1. No mint mark. If there's a D or P under the date, it's not the one. Flip it over. Look closely under a magnifying glass. Point 2. Sharp detailing. Check Lincoln's jawline and the words, "In God we trust." In some valuable versions, there's a faint doubling effect, especially on the word liberty and the date. Point 3. Strong strike. The valuable ones tend to have a crisp, clean strike, almost like they were stamped with extra force. Point 4. Clean color. Reddish copper tones in brilliant condition can increase value significantly. The shinier and smoother, the better. If your coin has a funny, off-center strike or appears thicker than usual, don't toss it. It might be an experimental strike on a planchet intended for a different denomination. Now, pause for a second. Open that drawer. Check your old jars. You never know. Honestly, would you rather keep that coffee can full of pennies collecting dust? Or see if you're sitting on a six-figure surprise? Now imagine this. You find the 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You get it professionally graded. It earns a top-tier MS condition score. And you list it for auction. Bids start rolling in. 10,000, 50,000, 100,000. Until one final bid comes in at $998,000. All because you took a few minutes to look closer. Let me ask you something. What would you do with that kind of money? Pay off debt? Retire early? Buy that dream house? Travel the world? It's not just about the money. It's about the possibility. The chance to break free from financial limits, from just getting by, to building real wealth from something you already owe. So don't walk away from this video thinking, that's cool, but it probably doesn't apply to me. That mindset could cost you almost $1 million. Remember, rare coins are hiding in plain sight, and with the right knowledge, you can spot them before anyone else does. And here's your cliffhanger. There's another penny even rarer than this one, from the same era, worth even more. But that's for the next video. Subscribe now so you don't miss that story. What if I told you that a single penny sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer might be worth over $200,000? Yes, just one ordinary-looking 2001 Lincoln Memorial penny with no mint mark has shaken the coin-collecting world by selling for as high as $201,000. That's more than some luxury cars, more than college tuition, more than most people's yearly salary. Now, before you run to your change jar, pause for a second. Because this story isn't just about a coin, it's about a rare chance. A chance to turn something forgotten into something life-changing. And here's the real kicker. Most people throw these pennies away without even knowing what they had in their hands. That's where the fear kicks in. What if you've already spent a fortune without realizing it? So, grab a drink, turn up the volume, and stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is worth a fortune, you'll also learn how to spot one, sell it, and potentially start your own treasure hunt right in your home. Let's get into it. Let's rewind a little. The year is 2001. The world is shifting. Technology is booming. But in the US Mint, something unusual is happening. A quiet error that slipped past the radar, hiding in plain sight. The Lincoln Memorial penny, minted in Philadelphia, was supposed to carry a P mint mark, or at least that's what collectors expected. Instead, some 2001 pennies came out completely blank of any mint mark. No D for Denver. No S for San Francisco. No P for Philly. Just a plain, unassuming copper-colored penny. Now here's your first attention reset moment. How many pennies have you tossed aside because they looked plain? Exactly. But here's what sets the million-dollar versions apart. A combination of errors, rare die features, and pristine condition. Some show off-center strikes, doubling on Lincoln's face or the words, "In God we trust," or an unusually glossy finish that suggests a misfire at the mint. And condition matters big time. Penny found in your couch cushions won't cut it. We're talking MS67 and above. That means it has to look nearly flawless under a microscope, that it's like finding an unopened vintage toy still in its original packaging. Except this one might be worth more than your CAR.B. By the way, quick break. Have you ever wondered why some coins are worth hundreds of thousands, while others barely by a stick of gum? Well, the answer is surprisingly emotional. Scarcity, history, condition, and timing. Right now, rare coins are skyrocketing in value because collectors and investors alike are turning toward tangible historical assets, especially ones they can hold, frame, and brag about, which brings us back to the 2001 no-mint mark penny. Now, before I reveal exactly what to look for and how to sell it, let me ask you something. What would you do with $201,000 from one single coin? Would you pay off debt? Travel the world? Invest it and retire early? Hold on to that thought, because if you miss the next part, you might miss your chance. Alright, let's talk action. If you have a 2001 Lincoln Memorial penny, turn it over and check three things. 1. No mint mark. That's crucial. It should be completely blank below the date. Point 2. Check the coin's condition. The shinier and more perfect, the better. If it looks like it just rolled off the mint yesterday, you're in luck. Point 3. Look for unusual features. Doubling, off-centered designs, raised lines, or odd textures. These tiny imperfections are gold. Literally. Now here's how to sell it. Start with getting it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. That alone can increase its market value exponentially. Then, take it to auction houses, or list it with high-value coin brokers who specialize in rare U.S. currency. Don't settle for your local pawn shop. This is a strategic asset, not spare change. And a word of warning. There are fakes out there. Copies. Altered coins. So be cautious, do your homework, and get a second opinion before making any deal. Because let's face it, if you're going to sell a coin that's worth more than some houses, you want to do it right. And that brings us full circle. From a forgotten penny to a six-figure payday. It's a wild journey. But it's real. It's happening. And it could happen to you. So, do you have a 2001 no-mint mark penny sitting at the bottom of a drawer? Maybe, maybe not. But now you know what to look for. And that knowledge, that's your edge. If you found this video helpful, subscribe for more tips on rare coins, hidden treasures, and smart strategies to turn old change into real wealth. I drop videos every week, and trust me, you do not want to miss what's coming next.